Okay, so let's see the basic HTML elements. Don't worry, you don't have to memorize them because we will be using them a lot in the final project. So let's create a file in Visual Studio Code. Let's add an exclamation mark, tab, so we have our basic HTML document. We can add a website title and maybe a description if you want. But the important part is here in the body, okay? So here we're going to learn about the basic HTML elements. First, as I told you, we have headings, okay? So this is title. Then we have heading 2, which is subtitle. And then we can go all the way up to heading H6, okay? So this is another one, and the last one is H6 right here, which is the smallest, okay? So you can see here we have all the titles. Great, we can also add a paragraph with some text, okay? So here we can add some text, which is just regular text. Inside the paragraph, we can add line breaks, okay? So it adds a line with BR, okay? Break, and we have to self-close it, okay? There are tags that self-close, so you only need to add this slash at the end, and that's it, okay? And now the text breaks line here, okay? If we add many, we will be creating each time a different line, okay? So we can create many break lines and it will create a new line, okay? Now, inside the text, let me copy this paragraph, for example. We can add multiple elements, like a bold text, okay? B stands for bold, which is the same as strong. What's the difference? The difference is that this has semantic meaning. This is something that was added in HTML5. We will see in the next lesson, but it's only for accessibility reasons and for search engines, okay? So when blind people use the web, this tells them that this is something important. This is only styling, but this adds also semantic value because it tells it's important. And M is like something that is relevant, okay? And it adds an italic style, but it's the same as I, which stands for italic, okay? So we can add bold, italic, this way or this way. If it's something important, we add strong. If it's just something we want to be visual, we can add bold. Don't worry if we are in a beginner's course, so it doesn't matter what you use, it won't make a difference, don't worry. But it's a good practice to use strong and M because it has semantic value, and most of the times when you make something strong, it's because it's relevant. This makes the search engines to give it more relevance, okay? So when people is searching something that is strong in your website, it means that it's more relevant and you have more probability to be at the top in the search results. But if you add all your website with strong, Google is clever enough to know that not everything is relevant and important, so don't do that, okay? Great, that's the way we can create paragraph with breaking lines, with strong or bold, with italic or M, okay? Now, what else we can add? We can add links. For example, here we can add an anchor, which is a link. It has to have a href attribute, which means where is that link going to go? Maybe we can go to, for example, my website, okay? magicartistry.com. It can open my website. And then we close it and we add the link text, okay? So if I save it and I click here, it will open my website, okay? Look, I have the link here, I click it and it opens my website, great. But what if I want that link to be opened in a new tab? We can solve this adding an attribute called target right here, under slash blank, okay? Target blank, it opens the website in a new tab, okay? So we go back, refresh, click here, and it's opened in a new tab. Great, let's go back here. This is not working. Let me close if this happens to you, go to live, stop server, and then start the server again, and it's working. Great. So we have headings, we have paragraphs with bold, italic, we have anchors, which are links, and we can add buttons. But buttons are not used for links, okay? So we have here a click me button. Buttons are used for forms, okay? When we want to add a formulary with maybe a email password, like a login or sign up form, okay? So that's when we use it. If we want to make a link but that looks like a button, that is created with styling, with CSS. We will make that in the future, but here I can add some style. For example, maybe background color red, color white, padding 10 pixels, and border radius 5 pixels. Okay, so, and text decoration none. Okay, so now it looks like a button, but it's an anchor tag. Okay, it's a link. That's the way you create links that look like buttons, not adding a button tag, because button tags are used inside form tags. Okay, so let me show you that. I can create here, and I'm going to show you another element, an horizontal line. If I add HR, it creates an horizontal line, as you can see here. Okay, we can style that so it looks the way you want, so it creates separation. And here I can add a form tag, form. Let me delete this. I can add a form tag. Okay, if I say it doesn't appear, there's nothing showing. Okay, and here, and I can add many elements. Let me show you some of them. Okay, because there are tons. In Kairos, at kairosplan.com, you will have in this lesson all the resources you need to understand this type of elements. But the way to learn them is using them in real projects. That's what we are going to do in this course. Okay, so don't worry. We have input type text, email, password, checkbox, radio, range, text area, selection, and then the button. Okay, what the button does, it sends the information. Okay, so if I add here some information, it sends it. Right now, it's sending it nowhere because we haven't specified that. That's for a future lesson. Okay, but we have a text, we have a email input. So if I add only text and click here, it says please include this character right here because this is not an email. The password looks like a password. Checkbox, radio, range, text area which can be open, selector. Okay, so this is all created with HTML. As I told you, HTML defines the content. Okay, so we want here an input text, an email text, a password, checkbox, etc. The styling will be done with CSS. For example, this text area, we can style it so it has a border radius of 20 pixels. Okay, and now it's rounded, as you can see. And maybe the border is going to be 3 pixels wide and solid and red. Okay, so now it's solid, red, and 3 pixels wide. Okay, so that's with styling. We will have a class about that, but HTML defines the content. Great. Now we have headings, we have anchors for links, we have paragraphs with semantic strong and bold, italic, the form. I'm going to add another horizontal line right here. Remember, self-closing tags always ends with this slash right here. Okay, the same with breaking line. Okay, and now I'm going to show you a list. Okay, a list can be an ordered list like here. Okay, so we have item 1, item 2, item 3, etc. And then we have ordered lists, which have item 1 with a 1 on the front, item 2, etc. Okay, so we can create an ordered list and ordered list. The way to create them, very simple. An ordered list are created with this UL and ordered list, and then we have list item. Okay, so we are opening an ordered list tag, and inside that an ordered list we have different list items. The same with ordered list. The ordered list creates the 1, 2, and 3. Okay, if we change this UL for OL, it also makes it sorry, I have to change also this one. It also makes it an ordered list. Maybe even if I delete this closing tag and delete this opening tag, this combine, and then I have from 1 to 6. Here, if I add more spaces, the spaces won't be added. Okay, I have to add breaking lines. Okay, But let's go back to Control Z. You can go Control Z. You can go back. Okay, so an ordered list and ordered list. Now, what else do we have? We have images. Okay, you can go to this website right here, pexels.com. For example, there are plenty of free images websites, and you are going to find any website you want. As we are in Kairos, we're going to use a Greek image like this one, for example. Right click, copy image address, or you can save it, of course, and you are going to add an image tag. Source, SRC is the source. It's where is the image coming from. You're going to add this URL, and you can already see it. And an image is also a self-closing tag, and we have the image. Of course, this looks very big, so we have to add a width of, for example, 100 or maybe 400 pixels, okay? And we don't need the height because it adapts, but we can also add the height right here. And very important, you are going to add an alt text, alternative text. This is a description. It's also used for search engine optimization because search engines use this information when you use Google Images. Okay, so if I look here for bicycle playing cards, magic cards. Okay, this is magic cards. It's my shop, and I go to images. Okay, you can see here this image is from my website, and it even has the ratings, the price, if it's in stock, and if you go here, you will see it's my website. Okay, so how do you do this? Well, because I added the text bicycle rider bag, which is the name of this playing cards, in the alt text. So if I add here Greek sculpture, this alt text is not shown. It's only for Google search, for search engines, and also for accessibility for blind people. Okay, so this is an image tag. And now the last element, and one of the most important types, is the divider. Okay, divider is something that you don't see, okay, but it helps you to create different layouts. Okay, so if I add here a div tag, okay, it self-closes, but I'm going to get this and maybe end here, okay, in the 3 headings, and I save, nothing happens. But if I add for example a background color of aqua, you see it is there. Okay, so the divider is there, and it helps us group different elements to style them. Okay, so for example, if we open the let me open the final project. Okay, so as you can see, we have a nav bar here, which will be a divider. We have a hero section, which will be another divider. The countdown, which will be another divider, because each section has a different styling. Here we have a gray background. Here the content is in the middle, but here is to the left. Here we have a video. We have here 3 dividers inside another divider. Okay, so let me show you. Dividers is a way of creating layout. So we can create 1, 2, and 3 dividers that are inside another divider, so we can center those elements. Okay, and inside these dividers we can add maybe a text right here, an image, and maybe some buttons right here. Okay, so the layout is created by divider. The divider is not seen unless we added some style, of course. Here I added the background, and if I move this closing tag from here to maybe the paragraph, you see it goes from there to there. Okay, so dividers will help us divide the content of and the layout of our website. So these are the basic HTML elements. Again, you don't have to memorize them. We're going to be using them a lot in a real project, so you will learn them and memorize it by using them.